this is Daredevil, and today, after a long time, we have another gameplay video with commentary. I haven't had the chance to speak about 7.33 patch in a gameplay video. I created a video regarding it, but it was specific about that, and now we have 7.33c, which is a better patch for Invoker, of course. But to get back into the game, start by saying, thankfully the first blood went to Tekis and not to Marcy. We will be facing a Marcy mid, which is one of my worst heroes to face, if I want to be honest. She has a lot of damage, she has a lot of armor, she has a jump, that means that you cannot easily kill her with Tornado, and it's pretty tough. But I took full advantage of the opportunity that she went ahead. Now let me pause because I want to say two important things. We already started and I'm pausing. But one, as you saw, Juggernaut was running from the mid lane. You never want to kill a creep while an allied hero is nearby, which may happen because, you know, they rotate to go get the rune and possibly a first blood, so they will be walking back sometimes. You don't want a creep to die during that time because they will share experience and you won't get level 2, and with Invoker specifically, that's a no-go. You need as much experience as possible, otherwise you will be losing the lane. Now, this is a lane that Marcy can dominate, because Marcy is a very strong hero. She is now a universal type, well, if I do recall correctly. Yes, she's universal. Obviously, I understood that from build actually. And if she gets a jump on you and she gets one kill is all she needs, she will be able to keep killing you, right? And this is a pretty high MMR game. For some reason I've gained a ton of MMR. I'm around 6.6k right now, and it's a bit out of my comfort zone, I will be honest. So I don't want to do trick stuff. I want to have a good game. And this is why I'm going for a Wraith Bunt. Usually I play the patch with as much damage as possible. We will talk this about in another video, which will be more specific, a better case. But in any case, one thing, check Jagger. He was walking, so I didn't push it. But then I saw Marcy out of position, walking back in lane. So what did I do? I instantly killed the creep, which means I secured one last hit. Invoker is very weak, level 1, so you want to be as good as possible for the first couple waves. Extremely high importance. And then I immediately denied, which gave me a huge advantage in the lane. Why? Because Marcy will have a level disadvantage. I'm not going to get a kill through it, but possibly this will allow me to secure the lane and not die myself. All things considered, now I am debating about getting a Sunstrike. Now, getting Sunstrike and killing the range creep, I didn't care about the last hit. I just want to make sure I will get level 2. So, not using Sunstrike, I'm buying the Wraith Band. If I use Sunstrike, I'm buying the Null Talisman. This is extremely important. Now again, I'm seeing him go up. I realize that the rune is not there. Immediately, I missed the last hit. But as you can see, I'm doing the same thing. I'm taking as many last hits as possible because Invoker does not have an advantage early on. So now I push the wave and I walk up. Why? She's level 1 and I have Forge Spirit and I have a lot of stats, which means I can do my stuff. Now I'm getting immediately back because I have seen from the gank that she has the I don't know the name. Let's learn the name. The Disposé, whatever, it's French probably. I don't want to be dragged back into the tower because the slow, I had checked. The moment the game started, I went to the tab and checked because I have to play Marcy a very long time. And I see that the slow is for 3 seconds. And I don't want, with a very slow moving hero, to get stuck under tower, even if it means that I will survive a bit. I don't want to give him anything.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
So I take my wins and I cut my losses, essentially. Now I could try to get the range creep, but I'd rather secure my 2 melee creeps and get the deny and trade the denies essentially. Again, I spawn the Forge Spirit and then I get the rune while also swapping items. I could do the same with the Wraith Band, but factor it. We don't have to be perfect, we just have to be aware. Now, sadly, I miss all last hits, I fail to draw aggression, and that means that she will deny me the good creep, the powered creep. I don't know how you call it. Again, it's pretty hard to deny. The Marcy has a lot of damage. Actually, at one point I checked her damage, and she had about the same damage as me before I get the second point in Exhort, which means you don't want to do that mistake. You want to get the second point of Exhort, otherwise you will not be able to keep getting last hits. It's very important. And this is the reason why I'm getting the Blightstone. Not exactly to kill Marcy, but honestly, because it will also, it's the most cost efficient way for you to increase your damage as Invoker. This patch, I'm a huge fan of getting as much damage as possible on Invoker. The way I start the lane usually is 3 branches, 2 mantles of intelligence and 1 circlet. And I will obviously create a null talisman. The second mantle I will sell later, but I won't have as much stats as possible. I can start the lane with 66 damage with Exhort, and getting the Blightstone essentially on the melee creeps that have 2 armor, you get 10% extra damage. With Invoker it is a lot, and if you use Alacrity it's even more. That's why Blightstone is a very good item, people haven't noticed it, and it also synergizes well with your Forge Spirits. So even if you don't get Alacrity, it's good to have, because let's check things out. Marcy currently has 6 armor. The thing with Marcy is that if you go from 2 armor to 0, it's 10% more damage. If you go from 6 to 4, for example, it's not 10%, it's 8%. So it's not that good versus high armor heroes. It's extremely good versus low armor heroes. But if you add that goes 2 ways, because before, if you had the Forge Spirit, the minus armor that it created wasn't as good. But now with the buffer of 2 minus armor, it's faster to be more efficient with your Forge Spirit. Even so. So overall, if you use Blightstone, not that much for trade necessarily, but good for build up and do a lot of damage to all creeps, yours and the enemies included. Just just remember that if you hit your creep and it doesn't die, it has the debuff, which means they will also gain the minus armor and will have better last hit. So you only want to hit your creeps, of course if the enemy is in range to last hit them, when you get the final last hit to deny or to secure a last hit yourself. Again, I choose to deny. I prefer to deny because I gave her 1 Forge Spirit. I didn't give her the Forge Spirit. She used Dispossess to drag it back to the tower. Fine by me. The more spells she uses to secure the Forge Spirits, it means the more aggressive I can be without fearing punishment. So if I have to give up a Forge Spirit, which is about 1 range creep, and then I can use Alacrity and another Forge Spirit to get 2 denies, it's about the same. I don't really mind. Again, I'm setting the Forge Spirit a bit behind because I don't want her to use a spell to kill it, and possibly if she uses a spell to harass me, then I can bring a Forge Spirit and deal some extra damage. Again, I'm always hitting Mars, as you can see, because I want to make sure 2 things. As you see, I have point in Vex, which means that I can use Tornado to remove her sidekick, I think it's called. Now, she used the jump to escape, that's good. Another good thing would be to check the cooldown of it, which is pretty high. So, at this point, listen, I can go Tornado and Cold Snap. Now, I'm being very aggressive here, because I know she doesn't have the jump. Which means that if she uses Sidekick and tries to kill me with her ultimate, I can remove Sidekick and I can use Tornado, Cold Snap, Meteor and fight, because I still have Alacrity, as you can see. And I think I had Forge but died. So when I have the window to move up, I always have it. And how can I make this window bigger? By constantly hitting Marcy and reducing her HP, because she's a hero with a very high HP bar. So if I keep it to 800, I can hit 4 to 5 times and then use my combo and get a kill, as long as she doesn't have rebound. If she has rebound, she can escape, or she can even kill me. The thing is, you cannot really run away from Marcy, and this is why I'm trying. Here I'm screwing up things. I'm getting anxious because I had the Blightstone on the backpack. I missed up my last hits. Now at some point I should check. Yeah, I checked that bottom lane has an arcane rune, so that's a good idea. As you can see, I'm trying to build up stacks. Now Marcy is a good player, and he doesn't come from the rage creep, so he stands behind. He is waiting for the stacks to run out, and then he will try to come back. Because if he stood there and perhaps, let's say, he wanted to be a bit cocky about it and try to get at me, we would start the fight with her having -8 armor, which is, you know, that's not very good. Yeah, I'm trying to cause a leap here. I'm trying to bait out because I see Wyvern TPing and I still have Tornado Snap ready. I have the Arcane Rune, which means I have lower cooldowns and I can pull off one more spell in the fight. So a lot of things going on at the same time. I'm trying to pretty much summarize everything. How can I hide this? Alright, I hide this. And as you can see, still, now I have a bigger disadvantage because I took my attention away from the map to try to get the Sunstrike. I think I missed. Okay, I missed, but I got an... I wasn't even looking, to be honest. I heard a noise, I thought it was my mother, so... But in any case, uphill, she has an advantage. I don't want to risk it. So, fun fact, I'm trying to... Actually, I think the vision should have been gone away. But, well, whatever. I tried to make sure that she wouldn't get the observer. So, but I was a bit slow, it seems. Now Willow, I remember she was sitting here asking me, can we kill him? I told him no, we cannot kill him. He's full HP. Has phase boots, has the bracer. It's pretty tough, so better go off. I used my tornado to remove his shield, so he doesn't feel too cocky. Because, you know, if a text comes, I don't have any vision at the moment. You know, to the point I used tornado, perhaps it's too late, so I wanted to get rid of it. And I invoked blast just in case, you know, it's one of those times that it just so happens to get initiated once you use your spell, because it happens a lot too. Okay, so let me fast forward a bit. Okay, he came back. Alright. Again, I also have a Ring of Protection, as you can see. Right now I have 13 armor. She cannot really kill me at this point, because I also have the Blood Grenade, which I intend to use the following way. Either to get a kill, or I can use Cold Snap and Blood Grenade and just run, and let Blood Grenade tick him and give me the window to escape. Essentially, I sacrificed 2 minutes from Midas just so I can make sure I will survive the lane and don't die. And what I get from it is 16 denies and plus, let's say, 200, 300, 400 extra gold from the enemy mid laner. I'm trying to get the Undying. I thought he would turn around, but, you know, Willow died too fast. I didn't expect her to die that fast. So, yeah, using Tornado to make sure I get the extra gold. Sadly, I lose the range creep. Didn't get all of them, but still worth it. Now miss, no, don't miss, but thankfully. Again, I'm trying to check for a rune. Hopefully it would be top, but then I see Marcy. I mean, considering she was bot, I knew that she was just about close to there, so I didn't risk it. Again, some clarities to make sure I have my mana pool at max,
Dire's top tower
as much as maximum as possible, close to maximum as possible. Again, checking for a potential Sunstrike or even TP. See, I'm checking for a
Dire's top
Sunstrike.
tower is under attack.
Now I'm preparing the Tornado because I have semi-decided to TP top, but I see Marcy mid, so I want to make sure she won't get a mid tower.
Radiant's bottom tower
So
is under
therefore
attack.
I give up on top. Again, I'm not very fast on using my spells, right? I want her to commit. Once she commits and she uses one or even two of her mobility spells, then I can go at her. Till then, I'm very tanky and I'm under my tower and I can use both Forge Spirits and Blood Grenade and Cold Snap to make sure I will survive and I have no problem. Now as I'm going top, immediately combo to Tekis, then Blood Grenade to slow him, Ice Wall, sadly he gets the kill, but we get a double, that's useful, and for your knowledge and mine, let's check how much gold I got from all this. I went top with about 500 gold,
Bottom tower is under attack.
and I think I finished plus 700 gold. I mean, that's as good as it gets, right? And I got a streak. That's a whole lot of gold. So if you can get early kills in this patch, I've realized, alright, if you get the Sunstrike kill in
Dire's
lane,
middle tower is
you can
under
get
attack.
Midas 1 to 2 minutes faster. So it's very important to check for Sunstrike kills. But if you get pressured a lot, you will have to pay attention to your mid lane, which is unfortunate. Again, using Sunstrike preemptively,
Dire's middle
sadly he runs the other way, but you know that creates the potential to get a kill. And even drop him low so he has to go jungle and use sidekick to heal up. Point is, you don't always want to use Sunstrike as the last spell. You can start the fight with a Sunstrike just by thinking what your opponent will act. Because you know, sometimes if they're hitting the tower, you have 3 seconds where they will stand in the same place, so you have a free Sunstrike, why not use it?
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Again, I'm completely missing here. I think I had a lag spike. Probably, yeah. But now I realize that this guy thinks that he is safe. Now what do I expect? Moving the Forge Spirits here, why? They're low. I know that he will use Decay, probably. When he uses Decay, probably he won't kill the range creep. I'm not sure, I don't even remember to be honest. But if he doesn't kill the range creep, I'm thinking, well, he will go for the last hit, right? Because he saw me failing my combos. So I already have prepared Ice Wall, I already have prepared Alacrity, I have the Forge Spirits ready. That's 1, 2, 3, and the next spell 4. And I'm aiming for a Sunstrike as well, which is 5 spell combo with a 3.7 invoke cooldown. I think that's a very big difference between a new Invoker player and a very experienced one. The ability to do all this, on the go. And even if he doesn't kill the range, and even if he kills the range creep immediately, he will probably won't kill the melee creep, so he will have to stick around. That's what I'm thinking at the moment. So let's check out. Trying to hit again. He's thinking about going. I'm not even using Cold Snap because I didn't have the time, so I went immediately for the Sunstrike and the kill. I should have denied the Force Spirit there, but I was just thinking about the kill and I missed the opportunity.
Dire's bottom tower is
Again,
under
I'm
attack.
dropping, I'm picking, then I'm sending back to sell. The thing is, when you have a Timber off lane, it's very hard to fight. I don't think Timber is good to have as an off laner when you have Invoker mid. And since I'm always first picking, he picked after. I don't think there is a lot of synergy there. Perhaps if you go Quos Vex, but I don't like Quos Vex Invoker. So I guess I have some blame. Quos Vex Invoker should be a good match with Timber. but he's not very good overall, I think. So
Radiant's middle tower
again,
is under
if
attack.
I remember correctly, the team chat right now was let's go, let's go, let's go. So I have already prepared my spells and I'm about to go. And I'm telling them I have haste rune, let's go, let's go. And now I want to check as well what they are doing. And okay, I'm hitting both of them, I remember that. Sadly Tekis had Pavis, so yeah, that's a thing. And I'm about to use Ghost Walk, but not good enough, sadly. I was a bit too cocky, but I expected both these spells to happen, or at least this to happen. And so I could probably survive, because we had Terrorize, Winter's Curse, Cold Embrace. Perhaps I should run towards my team, but I thought that if we went that way and used Ghost Walk, it would be better. But Tekis had Dust, so that was my bad as well. In any case, let's speed up a bit.
Dire's top
Alright.
tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack.
But as you can see, you can go for the Octarine Core
Dire's top tower
and
has
still
fallen.
be very active. There's no problem. People think they need to get an item to be active on Invoker. That's not always the case. That's what they don't understand. Being active early on Invoker relies mostly on two things: your team composition and the enemy team composition. Now, my team composition is not good, not very good. It has some potential with Winter Wyvern and Willow. There is some potential there, but not with Timber and Juggernaut. Because Timber wants to go up and down, left and right, like he's using a cheat code in GTA. But this is not how I want to play. This is not how you can play Invoker. Exhort Invoker. It is impossible to play like that. That's why they don't work very well. And the reason Quos Vex works is because you want to go in with Tornado EMP, and then he can throw his Chakram on top of that, and there is something to work with at that point. But overall, my team composition, mediocre at best. Their team composition, however, is good for early fights. Why? Terrorblade does not have any way to escape your combo. Undying doesn't have any way to escape your combo. Marcy has, and Sandras has not, but she's very tanky and probably won't die to it, but you can lock her down, which is useful, and then you can also use your combo on Tekis. So, considering both sides, your team composition and their team composition, you can apply your spells to a considerable degree to consider fighting as a good scenario. Now, as I said, you can use Sunstrike to start the fight. Why? Sunstrike is a 25-second cooldown spell. I used it immediately to deal some damage. Now, I'm immediately changing my spells. Now, I can go with a Tornado combo. I'm also bringing my Forged Spirits. I'm essentially applying most of my spells from the get-go. And when the fight ends, I will have Sunstrike back up again in case I want to use it. Very important. Sadly, Timber dies, so I decide to go back. There's no point risking it. But I've seen many people, professionals included, not swapping their spells at the right moment. They forget about it and then join a fight, and then they have to invoke their spells to use. No, you want to set up beforehand. Now, I'm using even Ghostwalk. I don't know the map. I know they fought bot. They might be coming. So, I move behind my Forged Spirits in this little area, and the moment I see someone, there's also the Watcher, so I know someone might come. Just in case I want to be ready to run away. I think the Watcher is mine actually, and it is a... Now it's dire, but the replay confuses things. Now I missed the Sunstrike, my bad. I should have waited a bit. The reason I didn't wait is because I wanted the kill, to be honest. But I said, my bad. I'm going for 4 stuff now. 2 reasons, Tekis and Marcy. And potentially Undying. It's good versus Undying, but there are other ways to play around his Tombstone. But mostly it is Tekis and Marcy. 4 stuff is extremely good against them, so I want to get 4 stuff.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And the reason I picked, of course, Dragon Scale is armor. Also, the burning effect works with Cold Snap, so if you hit someone, use Cold Snap, the burn damage will trigger Cold Snap, which is good to have. Again, selling the Forge Spirit, both to farm, as well as provide missile vision in case someone is walking up. And now I'm rushing to be able to kill the scamp twice. I'm trying to be as effective as possible. Also, I have, as you can see, I have Sunstrike already invoked in case something happens and I need to use it. Again. Cold Snap in case I need to go Tornado, and then I'm ready to go.
Is under attack.
I'm tipping top. We were clicking about the Tormentor, but Zagonov decided not to come, so I'm not going to stick around. Either you go or you don't. Again, I don't want to risk it. I'm sending the Forge Spirits and I'm going to the jungle. Now, obviously, I could check below, but okay. At this point, walking up to the creep wave, I'm not sure it's worth it. It gives you more XP, but is it worth it because you can farm it with the Forge Spirits and farm the jungle, you get more gold, but usually you want to stick into the lane to get more experience. Sadly I cannot help them because I had to be top, so they shouldn't even pick the fight. And through that I think Terrorblade has Skadi at this point, yeah. His mistake is not getting a bite, by the way. Now I realize I have to go back and defend. We have a fortify, so I'm not very hasty about it. I mean, the moment he uses the mine, you should use fortify. So now I can go back. My purpose here is to make sure the creep wave dies. I'll try to drag it back. Hopefully they dive, but they don't. Because if they dive, I have 4 stuff I can get behind. Then I can trap them with Cold Snap, Meteor, and I can play around. There is no reason to worry there. Again, I'm pinging on the Tormentor. I should have stacked the camp first, by the way. Also, you can use the Sunstrike to secure the Tormentor. Always do that. And thankfully I used the Blast as well, because it made things faster. Otherwise, Wyvern would have died. In any case, I'm going to get a Blink. TP mid, get another TP. I need travels at some point to use Midas because it has been long unused. And I was debating whether I should drop the Wraith Band or the Null Talisman. I decided that since I don't have a lot of mana regeneration, I'd rather have a bigger mana pool. So if I use my spells, then I have some mana to move around the map. That was my reasoning behind keeping the Null Talisman and not the extra armor, which is also useful to have, but I had to choose one or the other. Again, I don't think we can defend. I also think they got ahead, so I wasn't paying attention. No, they didn't. In any case, you can do it, but you can get a kill, right? You can pick someone off. Undying, for example, it has nothing. It's not enough. For some reason Timber is trying to get that. Anyway. Timber wants to fight early, Exort Invoker doesn't want to fight early. Another reason why you don't want these two together. But they do work well together later on if Invoker can apply his spells late game and he doesn't care about teammates. Then having a Timber can be useful because he can tackle a lot of damage, cause a lot of reactions. Overall, late game, he is kinda useful, but I'd rather not have him. He is more of a hindrance to the team than not. Now I'm thinking that I have to defend, so I'm gonna invoke Icewall to make sure they won't be able to push high ground that easily. But now I'm seeing Undying and I'm thinking about something smart. I'm gonna drunk him back with a 4-staff, and then I'm gonna cast the combo and make sure he dies. As you see, he's dead. Now Marcy died as well. She uses BKB. Now let me check something. Okay. This refreshes. Actually, this is a buff. I wasn't sure. What used to happen with BKB before? If you had let's say 10 stacks and you used BKB, subsequent attack from the Forge Spirits would not refresh it, would not increase it, nor refresh it. That means that BKB would remove it, but the buff itself would remain. For example, it would remain at 10 and it would expire after 5 seconds. Now, not only does it not expire, but it refreshes, it also increases, which is a huge buff that it's not documented. And I'm not sure it should make sense. Actually, it should make sense because they said the BKB chains debuffs apply, but they do not apply their effects, but they do exist and apply themselves as debuffs. So it should work like that. And actually I learned something myself from this replay too. Again, I'm thinking what I can do. As you can see, I bought the EMP shard. Now I have a good play to do here, right? Drag them all together and work with Timbersaw, possibly an Omniscience as well with Battle Fury. This is my plan. And I fucked up. This happens too, right? I wasn't sure because the Enchantress went right, the other guy went forward, the other guy went backwards. I realized I cannot cast good tornadoes and get all of them. Again, I'm trying to drag her back. Now next up we'll go for travels. Expected. Apologies by the way, I usually don't talk a lot, so in such gameplay videos my throat always goes sore. If you don't talk a lot, if you're an introvert, this happens.
Double damage.
Okay, some potential, but right now it's better enough. And he's getting baited and again I'm trying to drag it back. Sadly I'm dragging the creep waves. Now that's shitty because the creeps... Actually let me check again. I thought I'd killed the creeps and then I would throw a Sunstrike. Okay, the new wave came up, that's why. Okay. Yeah, it didn't get... and the creeps got killed as well, that's why they survived. So everything got dragged up together and the Sunstrike didn't deal the lethal damage I thought it would. Possibly that's a miscast by me. I think this is a good combo, but EMP will drag the creeps much easier than heroes, which means that if you want to use Sunstrike last, probably do it when no creeps are around or when you make sure that the creeps will die from Meteor. And sadly you cannot use Sunstrike first because still I don't have enough levels to be able to do that. That's a toughy one. You have to... between a rock and a hard place, essentially. If I had full levels I would use Sunstrike first. I would use Tornado, Cold Snap, Sunstrike, Meteor, Blast, Ice Wall, EMP, or even use EMP first together, but if you want to maximize the pool duration, you want to use EMP last. It's the new EMP shard is very interesting. The thing is, Invoker spells are so bad that you cannot make too much out of it. But the idea itself is extremely cool. I have analyzed it before. You can do a lot of things, and I will show you in the later part of the game another new combo that I have found out. Not a new combo, but an improvement of the previous one. Sadly, I didn't get him to get into the wall. It would probably cause a BKB, force a BKB. Okay, he doesn't have BKB. I think this happens later, and my memory got jogged. Probably. Let's see.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom
So I decided to go for two things. I decided to go for Aghanims first. Secondly, after seeing this guy die like an idiot to Enchantress, I thought, well, why not buy a 50 gold smoke to make sure that I survive later on? You know, just in case they have detection over me. I still have Ghost Walk as I used here, but you never know. And I have one spell, and I have one item slot. I mean, I can use it like that. I'd rather make sure that I won't die. Still, Invoker can do some very, very interesting defenses. It's unreal. And I don't think we can see what item I can pick, right? So that's sad because let's see. It's interesting. Okay, I didn't have good choices, that's what I remember. Sadly, I cannot explain you why I chose one neutral item rather than the other, because we cannot see what the items were and I don't remember. But if there is Quickening Charm, I will always pick Quickening Charm. If there is Spell Prism, I will always pick Spell Prism. No matter what happens. Absolutely no matter what happens. Those two get priority. Then, another defense. So the idea here, I was using my microphone to tell Juggernaut, stick close, I will use Alacrity, and you can possibly get an Omni Slash. That's the only way I think we can do this. Again, as you can see the Ice Wall, I was expecting something like this, and hopefully it works out. Now we can go ahead. Now, I used most of my spells, but as you see, I'm already ready. And I'm taking position, get both. Sadly, Enchantress was kicked to the opposing direction, but it doesn't matter, she will die. And now we can kill Terrorblade as well. Again, I like it on Juggernaut. I was thinking of using Tornado EMP to make sure he didn't use ultimate, but even if he did, okay, I don't have to last hit. But even if he did, I could use then and he would still die without killing someone, because I would use immediately Tornado and EMP and then he would have it on cooldown. Again, sadly, I have to, I have to regen. I don't have a lot of mana, so I would probably go back to base. Yep. Get the Watcher too. And I need some more XP to get level 20. Which is what I will do by killing the camp that is about to respawn. Get Chaos Meteors +2. Not as good as it used to be, but still useful. If you manage to place an opponent between two of the meteors, you essentially get double meteor for 2 to 3 ticks. So still a good thing to do consistently if you can do it. Trying to farm up a bit. And back to base. I don't have buyback, so I don't want to risk it too much. Okay. Now I realize that we can go. We can go, but as you see, I'm using the combo that I said before. I could do more stuff, but it's not enough. It is enough, so no need to worry. Timber will probably die, although I think he lives. Yep, he lives. I remember correctly. I haven't gotten too old yet. Now, that's a good chance. Perhaps throw a Cataclysm, but he died too fast, so nope. You just have to time it well enough. Link in, hold snap, make sure he dies. I could again last hit, but I didn't. I'd rather last hit like this. Make sure he doesn't jump or something. Now we can push, but mid lane is getting pushed, but my supports are going back. So we should stick with it, use Midas, always. Again. That's good. Okay. Probably use a Manta, but it doesn't deal any damage through Blade Fury. Yeah, this surprised me a bit, to be honest. Yeah, he could use his stuff, but I think we could stay here, but he decided to leave. Now I wanted to get them both, but it didn't work out. I think he played a bit too defensively. Juggernaut fucked up here. We could have gotten racks and killed most of them. Well, what can you do? I'm sticking around in case someone comes, but well, doesn't look like it. TP back home to region.
My sprites are with us.
Okay. Now why is he using... Never mind.
I had such plans.
As we approach the late game, I think I should say that I've noticed that in this patch I'm not able to get a lot of kills late game because I don't do enough damage. There have been many times that my assists have surpassed my kills as the game progressed. Because you know your carries do look how much damage Juggernaut is dealing and how much you are dealing with your combos. Doesn't work very well. But you can still use them to apply pressure, control, and people will have to react.
Radiant are scanning.
Again, trying to use some control, force some items, push him back, make sure he stays with EMP. Undying saves him, however. Tried to use force there, but well, he was dead already. Back, Jay. Yeah, the creep here debated me. I thought I got someone. And possibly I thought maybe I got
Radiant's
two.
bottom
But
barracks are under attack.
I hadn't. I guess not much were lost. Now we can push and go Roshan. I'm spamming the map because no one paid attention to it.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Thankfully they do notice and they come.
Radiant's top tower.
Use blast so he gets disarmed. And make sure that they don't come. I'm also using... See, I'm using between 2 meteors, so both deal damage. If you check Ross, it might look that he got hit by 2. See, they increased by 2. It's double meteor essentially.
Roshan has fallen into the dagger.
Yeah, and I'm hoping for a spell prism. I don't get a spell prism, sadly. Sad is the game that you don't get a spell prism or a quickening charm. I don't even remember what I picked. Yeah, I think I'm debating this with myself all this time. Okay, so I go for the hood with the cloak.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower has fallen.
At this point I feel very confident, so I don't feel like I need to keep buyback. I have so many escape tools. I don't think I can die unless I screw up. And if I screw up, I will usually screw up when everyone is dead, so they won't be able to push. So it doesn't really mind me. Yeah, and I'm trying to, send the illusions, probably cause a reaction, or at least find mines to destroy.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower has fallen. Radiant's bottom barracks are under attack.
Now that Terrorblade used BKB, things are easy. Now when the BKB runs out, as you can see, I can immediately go with a combo. Now the idea is I'm placing the Sunstrike, I'm throwing the Meteor, and then I'm using the EMP to push him further back, so he follows the trajectory of the Meteor, which means more ticks will apply, equals more damage, and you can do anything. Pop, dies. That's a useful combo to throw the EMP behind. I'm using Refresher, trying to be a bit more effective. Now tracking down, probably use another Sunstrike. And that was the game. I think it was one of the better games I had lately. Usually there are a lot of stomps due to how the higher MMR ranked matches work with peeking screens and whatever. I don't think it's a very good system, but well, what can you do about it? Not much. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comment section. I answer every question I get. Thanks and have a nice day. What can you do about it?